Here are the weekly highlights of Arakan. AA warns of strained ties if Bangladesh fails to act against BGB officers linked to armed Muslim groups. Junta airstrike on Thandwe kills 1 civilian, injures 5. Arakan-Bangladesh border trade comes to a complete halt amid tensions. Kyaukphyu IDPs face hunger as aid dwindles. Local Mrumen in Maungdaw injured in landmine blast. Seasonal flu cases surge in Arakan amidst seasonal change. In Arakan, intense fighting between the Myanmar military and the Arakan army has been ongoing for over a year. From September 2nd to 28th of 2025, we'll be bringing you notable updates from Arakan. AA warns of strained ties if Bangladesh fails to act against BGB officers linked to armed Muslim groups. The Arakan army on September 22nd urged Bangladesh to swiftly investigate and take action against certain border guard Bangladesh officers allegedly involved with armed Muslim groups operating in Maungdaw border area. The AA warned that if Dhaka fails to hold these officers accountable, stability, security, and bilateral relations along the border could be undermined, leading to rising tensions. According to the AA, some BGB officers have provided armed Muslim groups with support and cooperation, including military and logistical assistance. These groups, it said, have been allowed to establish fortified positions near BGB outposts, from which they cross into Arakan to carry out operations. Bangladesh affairs officers suggested that Dhaka appears more focused on keeping international attention on the Rohingya refugee issue than on ensuring border stability. Armed Muslim groups have infiltrated Maungdaw district via the Naf River and Mayu Mountain routes, attacking AA security posts and committing abuses in remote areas, including the killing of civilians, abductions, torture, extortion, and harassment, the AA alleged. According to the AA, ARSA, Arakan Rohingya Salvation Army fighters attacked Point 601 between border post number 56 and 57 on September 16th, but were repelled and the positions remains under AA control. On September 27th alone, more than 12 clashes occurred between the AA and ARSA near Point 601, during which AA fighters reportedly seized more ARSA Corps military equipment and ammunitions. The AA further said that the resurgence of ARSA and RSO, Rohingya Solitary Organization, armed activity along the Bangladesh-Arakan border threatens not only the safety of local civilians, but also regional foreign investment and security of foreigners working in Arakan. The Arakan army therefore called on the international community to closely monitor the situation and urged the Bangladeshi government to seek solutions that would ease tensions and prioritize bilateral cooperation along the border. Junta airstrike on Thandwe kills 1 civilian, injures 5. A military junta airstrike on Ward No. 4 in Thandwe town at around 8 p.m. on September 27th killed 1 civilian and injured 5 others, including children. The bombing killed U Nini instantly and 5 others: Mao Tanzin age 6, Mao Autihaso, age 14, Do Kinkinte, age 37, Do Kintwe, age 53, and Utonaimon, age 42, sustained injuries and are currently receiving emergency medical treatment. The junta, facing mounting losses on the battlefield, has increasingly targeted civilian towns and villages with deliberate airstrikes. Just a day earlier, on September 26th, a monastery in Dango was damaged when junta aircraft dropped bombs there, though no civilian casualties were reported in that accident. Human rights activists strongly condemned the junta's continuing war crimes against civilians, urging the international community to take effective and decisive action. They added that ineffective responses and lack of accountability from the UN and other international actors have allowed the junta to commit atrocities with impunity, leading to mounting mass civilian casualties. Arakan-Bangladesh border trade comes to a complete halt amid tensions. Border trade between Arakan state and Bangladesh has come to a complete standstill in recent days, reportedly due to mounting tensions between the Bangladeshi authorities and the Arakan army. Local traders said the suspicion follows a series of incidents, including Bangladeshi fishing boats illegally entering Arakan waters, the killing of an AA officer, drug trafficking allegations on both sides, and clashes with the Arakan Rohingya Salvation Army in border areas. These developments, they said, the closure of cross-border trade routes. Though border trade had already been declining for about 2 months, with transactions taking place only sporadically, it has now been halted entirely. Earlier this year, when relations between the AA and Bangladesh were relatively stable, informal trade was carried out with mutual understanding through Maungdaw, Kyaukphyu Economic Zone, and Balawa in southern Chin State, despite the absence of official agreements. Now, however, with the AA controlling the entire Arakan border and facing attacks from Muslim armed groups based in Bangladesh, local traders say transportation and commerce have been severely disrupted. Border merchants and business people argued that the AA should make efforts to maintain good relations with Bangladesh and work to reopen trade routes to revive local economic activity. Kyaukphyu IDPs face hunger as aid dwindles. Displaced people from Kyaukphyu Township, forced from their homes by ongoing clashes, are facing growing hunger due to dwindling humanitarian assistance, according to local aid providers. Community-based organizations have been doing what they can to support the IDPs' food and shelter needs, but as donations decline, difficulties are mounting. In recent weeks, local villages and social organizations have been pooling resources to provide food for the displaced. However, IDPs are also struggling with inadequate shelter, lack of mosquito nets, and other urgent needs. The situation is particularly dire as fighting continues. Job opportunities are scarce, and humanitarian assistance remains limited, leaving displaced people in worsening hardship. Aid efforts have also been severely hampered by Junta restrictions, including attacks on civilian settlements, road blockades, cuts to supply routes, and disruptions to phone and internet services. Since clashes erupted in late February, more than 30 villages in Kyaukphyu Township have been affected, forcing tens of thousands of residents to flee to safer areas. Local Mro man in Maungdaw injured in landmine blast. A Mro ethnic man from Gaichao village in northern Maungdaw Township was seriously injured after stepping on a landmine while going to his hillside farm. The victim, 21-year-old Guo Shita, was injured at around 12:30 p.m. on September 24th when he triggered a landmine near farmland close to the village. He sustained severe injuries to his right leg, locals residents said. The incident occurred in Mayu mountain range, located more than 2 miles north of Gaichao village. According to figures compiled by DMG, between April 2024 and September 24, 2025, at least 5 people have been killed and 32 others injured in Maungdaw Township due to landmines and unexplored ordnance, UXO. Local residents expressed growing concern over the increasing number of landmine incidents in Maungdaw Township. The Arakan Army has undertaken some clearance efforts, including posting warning signs and conducting awareness campaigns on the risk of landmines and UXO. However, local civil society groups say these measures remain insufficient on the ground. Seasonal flu cases surge in Arakan amid seasonal change. Seasonal influenza cases are on the rise in several Arakan townships, including Thandwe, Kyaukphyu, Maungdaw, and Maungdaw, according to local residents and healthcare workers. Since the beginning of September, flu infections have increased among both children and adults. In Maungdaw Township, about 3 out of every 5 people are reportedly suffering from seasonal flu, experiencing symptoms such as fever, running nose, cough, body aches, diarrhea, and vomiting, residents said. In Junta-controlled Thandwe, nearly every household has at least one person down with seasonal flu, with the residents turning to traditional medicines as pharmaceutical drugs have become scarce. Seasonal flu is a viral respiratory disease that spreads easily in crowded places through coughing and sneezing. Healthcare workers warn that young children, the elderly, and those with weakened immune systems are especially vulnerable. Meanwhile, locals noted that medicine shortages in Arakan have worsened the health risks, making even common illnesses more dangerous. These were the main highlights of the past week in Arakan. This program is presented every Tuesday, so please stay tuned. May all people of Arakan and the world stay healthy and safe.